Hey everybody, welcome back to All Things Johnny. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a John Deere 1025R in back of me. And on that John Deere 1025R is a new set of ROPS. There's a story. I didn't do it, but there is a story. Come along with me. I want to show you what we did here. Okay everyone, I've got a job to do today. I've never done this before, but I'm not all that nervous about it. I am mechanical, and I love spinning wrenches, and I love figuring things out. So we're going to try to go through this relatively quickly. We had an accident with the tractor. I loaned the tractor to a friend of mine who was working on his property and his neighbor's property, and collectively they had an accident, and they knocked the tractor over onto its right side. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. It's just a tractor. We can replace everything on that. So I'm really glad nobody got hurt. But we're in a situation where we have to replace the ROPS. The ROPS have been bent. They're shifted over about 2.5 inches. You can kind of tell between the distance between this light and the seat and this light. Don't pay any attention to this. I broke that light the second week I had the tractor. We're going to remedy that situation too. But the ROPS have been bent over. And really the ROPS are one-time kind of use. I don't care who you are or what you think. This is safety equipment. And when you use it once, you should be replacing it, especially if you bent it or tweaked it. We could have removed this, straightened it out, reinforced it or whatever, but my wife and my son, my 11-year-old son, use this tractor, and I can't guarantee that the ROPS are going to work the second time, right? And I want to make sure that they're safe when they're using the machine, as well as myself. So enter my local John Deere dealer, Green Diamond. They came through for me. They had a couple of these ROPS from John Deere 1025 that I believe somebody might have put a Mosier cab on it or something like that, and the ROPS were removed, obviously. So I got a smoking deal on these ROPS because retail, they were going to be like over $2,000 to buy new ROPS from John Deere. Number one, it's safety equipment, right? Which is expensive. Number two, it's John Deere. So I'm thankful that they had these. So thanks guys to Alex and all the guys at Green Diamond for helping me out with that. Got a smoking deal on that. So I've never done this before. I've never taken the ROPS off. I assume by looking at it, obviously we got to take off the lighting and the toolbox, kind of all the peripherals. I'm going to take off the 3-point hitch so that I can move around in here. I believe I got to jack the machine up and get it up on some jack stands to take off the rear tires because I don't think that'll be able to get wrenches in there to get it done otherwise. So there's definitely some work to be done here. I think it's probably going to take me a couple of hours. Probably try to condense this down to a 30-minute video. But hey, if you've never done this before, come along with me. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put another light kit on instead of these big bulky suckers. We're going to have a strip of light right here on the ROPS, which will be signal lights and brake lights and hazard lights and all that. I got this at Princess Auto, which is Canada's version of Harbor Freight. And it looks intriguing. They look really nice. Read a couple of reviews on it. It seemed like they were pretty darn good lights for what they are. So I'm anxious to do that and get rid of these big bulky lights. We'll put them in a storage somewhere. So yeah, let's change the camera angle and start taking this apart bit by bit. And we'll see how far we get before I need to start calling in a friend. All right, let's do this. Start here with the toolbox. Now listen, I'm gonna warn all you cretins in the comments section there. This can happen to anybody. This type of thing. Anybody. I don't care who you are, how experienced you are. These types of accidents are, well, they're just that. They're accidents. Happens to the best of us. Well, at least this type of thing makes for a great YouTube video, right? Taking a 3-point hitch off is really quite easy. There's not a lot to it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war. I can feel that this cross member's in tension, maybe from the rollover or whatever, but I can feel it. And it's not letting this bolt go. The nut's gone on the other side. But so I'm going to put some downward pressure on it. I'm just going to be careful not to pinch myself or... Yeah, it's under tension for sure. Yeah. Probably from the roll. See if I can get this cable out of here now. A little bit easier. So this light here is pretty much garbage. We're going to throw this one out. Broke all the mounts and everything. But I'm going to dig to get the wiring harness as clean as I can, because obviously I want to use some of the original plugs and run it the same way in the new ROPS. You know, I think it'll just be a cleaner job. It'll be nice to finish it up like that. This one here wasn't broken. But again, I'm going to take the lenses apart and retrieve the wires as cleanly as possible. I'm just going to keep taking things apart here. So obviously I've taken, you're going to notice there's some extra bits of electrical on this tractor. And it's because, remember last year, and there's another YouTube video on it, I'll pin it in the comment section. You can see that I've got an LED bar on my snowblower, and I've also got electric actuators turning the chute and then pitching the chute as well. We'll see how those held up over the storage in the summertime. There's also some cabling here that I want to reroute and make sure that it's a little bit neater. So I might even go as far as to pull off this fender again and just make sure that things are tidy and good. If I've got it stripped down this much, I might as well go. So you'll notice extra electrical, just ignore it for now. Going to continue to take this stuff apart, and we'll see how hard the ROPS are to get off. I know I'm going to have to lift the tractor a bit here soon. Flat bar there. Okay, I've raised the 3-point hitch just to get it out of the way. I'm looking at a little bit deeper here as to what what I'm going to have to rip apart, and it's like everything. I'm not so sure if I'll have to take the tires off yet or not. It seems like the ROPS come down here, and then they make this loop down here where you would put your receiver for a ball hitch. I'm going to start by taking these off. Then I'm going to take off these 3/4 inch bolts here, and then I'm going to go after the big suckers here on the side, and we're going to see if we can get the ROPS off that way without taking the tires off. That would save a lot of heartache, right? Not really. I guess you just have to jack up the machine and get her going, but this is definitely easier if I don't have to do that. So let's start with the bottom plate here, and then we're going to take off this. We're going to take off this shroud. PTO shroud, safety net here, or whatever it is. I don't know the names of these parts, guys, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I don't even really care what they're called, to be honest with you. But it's a mount plate for your receiver, I know that much. Oh, dear God. So, all right, this plate is gone. Moving right along. Set that there for now. Next is this housing here. You're going to want to take those guys off. What size is that? I was hoping that I wouldn't have to get up again, which I don't. Yes. Oh, I need an extension though, don't I? Okay, so look at what we got here. So here's this outer plate that I'm talking about, which just seems like it's beefing up the frame. Okay, that's the frame going down inside the tractor. This is the frame right here. Then you got this, which is the ROPS. And the ROPS come down with this bracket here, and then it comes all the way down, and then it makes the right angle for the mounting plate for your hitch receivers, or whatever you want to put back there. So, I'm going to loosen off this bolt first, which is your 3-point hitch mounts, I guess you would call it. I got to find a manly enough tool for that, which I think I might have. And we're going to start there. I don't think that we have to take the... no, there's another bolt back here, though, isn't there? So there's 2 bolts on the bottom, 1 on the top for the ROP on either side. And then, of course, this the 3-point hitch pin that's going through here. Sorry for my handy cam work here. And then I think we got the ROPS off. So we shall see. So I'm going to remove these bottom bolts so that I can get the monkey wrench in there. Monkey wrench is the only thing that I have that's big enough for getting around these bolts. I find it interesting too. I took the other one out, but look at how that wears. Isn't that crazy? Will the camera focus in on that? Let's see. So it's obviously inside this metal cavity, and there's probably a little bit of wiggle going on, and it really does fry this bolt. Here, let's focus in on this again. Crazy, eh? Corrosion and everything. Anyway, I guess the part of the bolt that we need is fine. I guess. Now, I know that this is monkey wrench or pipe wrench, but I should probably run over to Dale's and get an adjustable of a suitable size before I screw up the threads on this. Okay. I don't know why that's not coming off of there. stand by. I'm coming to your place, Dale. Okay, I had to take a short break. The monkey wrenches weren't going to work here. Like, they're just, I'm worried I'm going to round off the nut and cause damage. So I had to go get the right tool. I'm going to take a second here just to tell you how fortunate I am. I live next door to a gentleman that served in our Canadian military for 30 years. And he served, first of all, as a soldier, but secondly, as his trade was mechanic. And let me tell you two great things about that, about living next door to him. Number one, man, he is a fountain of knowledge. And if I just shut up long enough, I'll learn something. And number two, man, the guy's got every tool known to man. Like, it's just like, look at the size of this. Why would you have that? I guess I'm going to need these tools, so I better start collecting some as I trek through life. But Dale, thanks a lot for being so giving with your stuff and your tools and helping me all the time. It certainly means a lot for me. Hey, your birthday's coming up. I got a special gift for you. You don't even know about it. Anyway, all right, let's continue. Let's see if this works. I'm sure it's going to work. But at least we'll be hugging the nut here a little bit better, right? Man, I almost got that right on. All right, let's see. Man, I'm nervous of this. Okay, that is on there. Okay, this one's off. Okay. That one is on there. Holy crow. But it's cool because it's, I don't have to worry about putting another wrench on to keep it secure as I spin. It's kind of fitted in this hole, which is great. Okay. So we'll just set this down here because we're going to put that back on in a few moments. This guy needs a little bit more persuasion. I don't really know why. It's so darn hard. Oh my goodness, should I stand on that? I'm going to give it away, guys. I'm wearing Crocs while I work in the garage. Should I stand on this? Okay. Huh. Okay. Can I tap this with this, or is this faux pas for mechanics? What's the deal, guys? Should I be hitting Dale's tool? I've seen Dale do this type of thing. Okay, I don't know if that moved. It felt like it sure did. I don't think you're supposed to use it that way. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this one off so that we have a little bit more space to work. That came off just lickety split, which is great. If I remain positive, we'll get somewhere, won't we? Won't we? One of the things that impresses me the most, there's two things that impress me the most in life. There's more than that, but let me talk about two things that are crazy to me. Number one is leverage. I can't believe leverage. Like, as you grow up and you start doing, especially mechanical things or working on your home or whatever, it's like you start really putting the pieces together on how to use leverage. And it's crazy. Like, you know. Then the other thing, you know, once I started getting into tractors a little bit and the little bit of farm work that I do at my best friend's farm and, you know, the stuff around this property, like hydraulics has to be one of the best inventions for humans ever, right? Do you agree with me on that? Hydraulics are so important. Yeah, there's some corrosion there. That's why it just wouldn't let go. We're going to rust check all that and make sure we're good to go here. You got to know, folks, before you try this, there are bolts everywhere to take out. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to clean off the desk here. We're going to put the old ROP, let's call it driver's side, left side of the tractor. We're going to put the old ROP up next to the new one and see if we can physically see a bend in it. Let's find the new one, the newer one. This is exactly the same. See if we can see a difference. This isn't the most scientific way of doing it, is it? It's definitely tweaked. It's definitely tweaked. Okay, we're gonna let's take off the right side now, the passenger side, I guess, right side. Take this one up. This one is definitely tweaked more. And I think it was putting pressure on this side. So I'm curious to get this one off and to see how it actually compares to the new one. I bet you it's going to be 1.5 inches, 2 inches for sure. Maybe. Here's the new one to compare it to. It's down at the bracket here. Maybe not. Maybe it's up at the top. It's tweaked for sure. But where? I think it's at the elbow here. There's no real way to get these things side by side to really know exactly. Ow, pinch my hand. I always hurt myself. Let me flip it this way. See if we can see better what's going on here. Probably not, eh? It really is hard to tell. Like right off the bat, it's not at like it's not a 2-inch tweak like I thought it was, but I think, you know, once you mount things up and the taller it kind of gets, the more it's out, right? Because when I was sitting down on the tractor, looking at the ROPS coming over my head, they were no longer centered, they were tweaked. And it felt like it was 2 inches at the top, maybe 1.5 inches, or I don't know, maybe I'm overstating it, but there was definitely a tweak there. So I think we're gonna mount these suckers right back up. We'll oil some things as we go here. I wish it wasn't nighttime because I would probably pressure wash all this stuff out of here, but I don't know, it's a tractor. Okay, so I'm going to leave a lot of this loose right now. It's just sitting on here because I want to make sure like stupid stuff doesn't happen, like what I got going on here, like push that up and over and all that stuff, right? And this kind of goes in, this kind of goes in there. This side's kind of ready to lock down, but only once I straighten out a couple of things. I think the wiring goes on this side. So you want to keep things loose so you can, so things can remain fluid. You can move things around as you need to. And just kind of rotate it in here, if I can get it. Yeah, it's close. It's majorly close. There it is. Okay, so boom, we got that. Just got to do a little minor adjustment here. Make sure I don't snip off any of this electrical with this metal. Slide that in there. Sandwich that in a bit. Okay, so that goes in. Put a couple of these nuts on here just for safety. Again, I'll have to back them off after once I start cranking things down so that I have room. Okay. This one can go up in here, up in here, up in here. Yeah. Start letting that go now. Thank God, give my arm a break. Man, that was tough. This is a 2-person job. You should have a second person with you to get things in the right way. Okay, I don't have good news. When I put the ROPS on the bench side by side, new versus old, on this side of the tractor, there was definitely 1 inch, maybe even 1.5 inches of difference in the bends of the ROPS down here in this corner primarily. On this side, it wasn't that much, maybe 1/8 of an inch, like it was minimal. So I thought, okay, well, that might take up all the slop once I mount it. So I've mounted them up, I've tightened everything down. Everything seems to be true and square. But as I look at this and come to the nose of the tractor and I look straight down, it still feels like I'm torqued to the left. It does. It feels like it's torqued to the left. Now, I don't know if that's cosmetic. I mean, I know that it's cosmetic at this point. I've swapped out the ROPS. I'm comfortable that the ROPS will take another hit. Obviously, they're new. I didn't want to leave the old ROPS on it because I didn't think it was safe if the tractor rolled again. I mean, you know, like I said before, my wife and my 11-year-old son use this tractor. I want the ROPS to work. It leads me to believe, and I know that this is crazy to say, but I think that during the rollover, I think that the frame was bent at the back here. I think that's what's happened. I think that it's bent on this side. And at this point, it kind of is what it is. There's not really anything that I can do to fix the frame if that is the case. Now, look, I'm a backyard mechanic. I don't really know anything about this stuff. I do like to think of myself as being a logical person and somebody that can learn really quickly. And I am passionate about spinning wrenches and learning how to do this type of work. And as I just sit here and look at this, I'm like, it doesn't feel straight to me. Certainly if I put the seat down, you can see that the clearance between the seat here and here is a massive difference. It's about an inch. It was 2.5 inches. So it has improved. The trouble that I'm having now is that my OCD is just in hyperdrive. And now that I've got the new ROPS mounted up, I'm a little bit bummed out that it's not coming together back to new. The tractor's almost 3 years old, so I got to accept that it's going to get banged and bruised and you know, things like that are going to happen. It just sucks when it does, and I don't think it's going to affect the performance of the tractor at all. I'm just bummed. I'm going to take a break for tonight. For me, it's going to be a couple of days by the time I get back to filming, you know, kind of part 2, if you will, of this video. Because we'll get everything back on the tractor, and then we'll do up the new electrical on here as well. For you, it's going to be a nanosecond. For me, it's going to be a couple of days, but I need a break. I'm a little bit upset that this isn't working. Well, it's my OCD. It is what it is. It's my OCD kicking in. When I sit down on this tractor, I want to see those ROPS in my peripheral vision being centered and looking the way that they should. So it's a bit of a piss off that I can't. Anyway, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, here we are, a couple of days later. I've had some time to rest and relax. It's kind of a crappy thing to realize, right? That, you know, all this effort and we're still not 100% fixing the problem. The problem's definitely in the back half of this frame here. If you're a tractor nut and you're a mechanic and you can see what I'm doing wrong here and there is a fix, put it in the comment section for me. I don't think that there is. I try to be logical when I'm looking at these types of things, and it does look like there's a twist in the frame down here. In any case, I'm moving on. Tractors are going to get damaged. They're going to get the crap kicked out of them. This is the risk that you take when you loan a piece of equipment. It's also the risk you take when you borrow a piece of equipment. Crap happens. So I did my best to fix it. We did correct a lot of the issue. There's still a little bit of cosmetic, the twisting of the ROPS just a little bit, but there's nothing unsafe about it. The tractor is performing 100%. My buddy came over, we put the ROPS on, we put the 3-point hitch back together, we lifted the ballast box, there's no noises, there's no leaks, everything's working perfectly fine, just as it did when it was new. So I'm comfortable on moving on from this point. So Anyway, I appreciate you guys joining me here on this video. This is a frustrating time, but man, we're through it, and I'm putting it behind me. We got to get this thing back to work. Winter's coming. I got to dig out the snowblower. We got to service it. We got to figure out what's going on with the electrical chute and the actuators that I put on the snowblower last year. Got to dig the plow out. We got to paint that thing and keep it from rusting all to smithereens. And so we've got a lot of work to do here between now and when the snow flies. Hey, the next video, we're getting rid of these Dumbo ears. They're no longer on the tractor. I'm going to show you how to use the OEM electrical, POW, the 4-banger, and we're going to hook up these LED lights, these little bars here. This will take care of our park lights, our brake lights, and our signal lights, all in one little lens, and it's going to be right here on the back of the ROPS. I'm looking forward to that because the Dumbo ears, I broke them off the day I got the tractor. Second day I had the tractor, I snapped them right off. So let's get rid of that. Hey, thanks for watching. Click the like and the subscribe button, please, if you like what we're doing here. And also turn that bell notification on. That'll let you know when I'm uploading new material. And I'd love to have you come along with me. It's been a real slice. So listen, until the next video in a few days, take care of one another. And thanks for joining me.